I was livid, and I told him that. I said, Travis, if you want to do freestyle, fine. Quit the factory stuff. Just do freestyle. I said, but right now the factories own you. You can't do this kind of stuff. And I wasn't as mad at Travis as I was the fact that there was an awful lot of factory guys were really waiting on Travis to show up.
We were real disappointed to get the news because we're looking forward to winning some races in the '03 season.
I call it the $1 million jump because that's about how much money he lost on that jump.
As time went on, you learned that that's just the way things go with Travis.
And that was another huge setback. Actually, his knee's never been the same. He'll feel that jump the rest of his life every time he puts that leg down. But that's Travis. It was right after that that we were screwed. We were behind the 8 ball forever after that. I think he could have won titles in the 250 class.
Travis finds himself on the top steps of the biggest stage in the world, right in the mix with Supercross's best athletes. He's right there.
As it turns out, we never won a race. Not one main or outdoor national.
And Travis goes down.
I don't believe that. He's had so many of these opportunities, and he blows another one to win the race.
Travis has a problem with the front disc on his bike. Unlike Carmichael, he is not injured. The Pastrana's night almost going as bad as Carmichael.
But that doesn't mean he couldn't, and I think history will view Travis as one of the most talented riders to ever throw a leg over a bike.
And Pastrana takes the lead again.
Beginning in 2002, Travis's conquer everything approach started to backfire. Sickness, injury, crashes, and the growing conflict between racing and freestyle started to tear him apart.
When everybody else was sleeping in between practice, Travis was out doing freestyle, and it just wasn't enough time to recuperate.
Welcome back, Travis Pastrana. He went down hard in the woods just a moment ago, and it looks like he's going to have to limp off the track.
Travis was so hurt and so sick. People have no idea. It was right during the divorce. I think it took a toll on Travis mentally. Seeing things that were going on, I think he lost respect for people, certain people. I think he kept getting sicker. He knew things that were going on in his family circle that he didn't like. He had parvo, which dogs get, Epstein-Barr, mono. He was anemic. All of his blood counts were so low, and Travis went downhill. He got sicker and sicker and sicker.
First race back disappointing.
What kept him still trying, coming back with all those injuries and trying to race? He knew he could win.
And Travis Pastrana gets around Ivan Tedesco for the lead.
And it bothered him that he wasn't.
Section, you see down the right side, Travis just gets punished by the motorcycle. Travis just giving it his all.
He just gets pummeled over and over and over again, and the kid gets back up. The guy is just amazing. I've never been around somebody that just gets beat up and just gets back up. He just comes up swinging every time.
That drive to come back from an injury is what sets you apart and what makes you one of the top competitors.
He knows he can do just about anything he wants on a motorcycle. He's arguably probably the most famous motorcycle rider that ever lived. But I think his time had actually come and gone, and much sooner than we thought.
So this pretty much sums up my racing career. All the work's done, finish line in sight. And then bam, I have an epiphany. See, I'm a pretty calculated person. My problem? Spontaneous deviation. And like most of my epiphanies, this one almost worked. In case you don't know from personal experience, it's, let's just say, difficult to win championships with duct tape holding bones in place.
There's two characteristics that he has. He has no fear, okay, which is what gives him the ability to keep on pushing the envelope. And I think he has congenital insensitivity to pain. Most of us would have pain with these situations. Travis seems to, shut that out of his body without drugs or medications. I don't think the kid takes more than, like a few Advil, after an operation. So, I mean, he's pretty resilient. I've taken care of him for wrist fractures, knee injuries. His knee's been reconstructed several times. He's blown out the ACL on one side twice, on the other side another time. He's taken chunks out of the joint. I've taken loose bodies out of his elbow. You name it, he sprained it or broken it or banged it up at one point. I've lost count of how many concussions Travis has had. He's way over what anybody would consider a safe limit under any sporting conditions. Look at you know, Muhammad Ali. There are some real long-term concerns, and I hope and pray that Travis never has any of that stuff happen with him down the road.
Travis has paid a heavy price for his success. He has kept his doctors busy and given his mom many sleepless nights.
You know, my mom, she's always supported me and always given me the opportunity to do what I loved. But I think I put my mom through more stress than any human being should ever go through. And seeing me on the sidelines hurt and in the hospital hurt more than any parent should ever have to endure. And, you know, through everything, she's gone, is this really what you want to do? This is your passion. You love this. And even in the worst times, it's like, Mom, you know, I'd be laying, you know, on a stretcher, you know, half unconscious, be like, I love my sport. And she goes, you know what? I just want to see you happy, and, you know, whatever that takes, you know, I'm there for you. I'll support you. I'm very fortunate to have such a caring and at the same time, you know, a mom that'll let me kind of chase my dreams.
When dealing with the possibility of death on a frequent basis, it makes one wonder what Travis thinks about life and beyond.
There has to be a God and a legion or two of angels around Travis. Robert doesn't believe in God at all.
I believe that God's about as real as Daffy Duck. It's just my opinion.
God is my focal point.
But people know what Daffy Duck looks like, so maybe Daffy Duck is real, or I don't know.
Travis is somewhere in between.
No, he's probably not in the middle. He's probably way on my side.
I think Travis has a spiritual side to him. I think with having your father as a role model who doesn't believe at all, you kind of don't want to upset him.
I don't think he believes in much.
And then you have a mother who gets emotional and who is a strong believer.
Who knows? I could be wrong.
I try to let my actions show for Travis and not saying, oh, you need to believe in this and that.
People make their own decisions, so you don't tell somebody what to believe or convince somebody what to believe. I think anybody with any kind of medium intelligence can make their own decisions.
I think he will figure it out on his own. I pray for him every day that he will.
Travis is fighting those two worlds. One world that says church is real, you know, when you die, you're going to heaven. My world that says when I die, I'm going to sleep. And any son of a that wakes me up, I'm going to beat the out of him because I've deserved a nice, long, hard sleep.
I think that God has a purpose for him. He's touched so many lives and in such a positive way that is a God thing. And I know God has saved his life more and more.
In 2003, Travis's thrill-seeking mentality was given a reality check.
I'm 20 years old and they're teaching my mom how to put a suppository in me.
Matt Bigos was a guy that I really didn't know. And for me, you know, we met that night, we went out, I made a huge mistake and drove way too fast.
I've known Travis all my life, and through all the things he's been through, he's hurt himself, and he's never really involved anyone else in his stunts or activities that he's done. And this time he hurt someone else, and it really was one of his low points of his life.
Paul knew Travis from racing, growing up together, about the same age. Head on over to Travis's house, and it's kind of late, probably maybe 11:30, 12 o'clock, I don't really remember. We weren't there real long, and he said, hey, let's go for a ride. So I hopped in the car, and I knew we weren't getting in the car to go 35 miles an hour the speed limit. I knew that wasn't happening.
Police officers estimated his speed at the impact of the tree of being 130 miles an hour.
Was kind of surprised at how fast we went. He's a lot better driver than I had realized.
Yeah, he told me as he was coming up to the jump, a deer stepped into his lane, so he jumped and landed a little crooked,